Hello everyone, Mr. Gentleman here. Glad to see you again for another video on Final Fantasy IV. In the chat we have The True Alfarius, Mediker, Wiseman, Subledger, Charlie Fox, Access Denied, and everyone else. Welcome. If you would all do me a favor, please hit the like button. That allows the live stream to be put out by YouTube to more people. Just want to make sure, is my mic doing okay? Let me know in the chat. And I'm going to get started. First things first, I did do a little bit of leveling up. The 1 speed active was catching up to us, and so I decided to get a few levels and get a little more money. And the first thing we're going to do, before we go to the next dungeon, is that I'm going to take a little side trip. I'm going to go over here, cross over, and I believe this is it. And yes, it is. This is the town of Mithril. As you can see, we have some small people. Come back here. Okay. We'll get them in a second. We have this pig. Here we've refined Mithril. Apparently every race has a part in refining it. Right, I believe these houses are weird in that you can't actually enter them. As in, they're not real houses. Oh my gosh, this NPC. There we go. Come. No, I think you're the ones that are small. And here we have some frogs, yes. Another rare Final Fantasy race. I don't eat ants, so I wouldn't know. Oh, well, thank you for letting me know. I think there's... no, not here. So, in this town, there is some stuff that will be useful down the line. We will be coming up against a few challenging bosses. And, this is a side place where you can get some pretty good stuff for the future. But first we're going to watch this dance. Not our usual dancers, but let's see what they have for us. I wonder if clipping into that frog is part of the act. Or into that pig, I think. Very nice use of the Chocobo theme. This dance might be going on a little long. Thank you, I suppose. Alright, moving on. I think there may be some hidden stuff up here. Yes, there's a Mithril dagger. Not sure who on our team can use that right now. Just looking around, making sure we get everything, because I do think there is some other good stuff here. Over here. I do believe they have some special items here, not the usual stuff. No, it's just, yeah, just a few things to heal ailments. So how are you all in the chat doing today? Play anything interesting? Watch the PS5 reveal? How do you all think the system looks? Okay, we're gonna get ourselves the Mithril sword. Yeah, we'll get a Mithril hammer. And I'll skip out on the Mithril staff. Alright, here in the item shop. We'll grab ourselves a few pieces of armor. We'll grab what we can, mostly for Cecil for now. And, yeah, I guess we can afford some stuff for Sid. Don't know if it's worth getting the shield for Sid. That's okay. Yes, Wiseman, they did show off the system. It actually looks a little more Xbox than Sony, at least to me. It looks like it's not as, you know, boxy or, you know, rectangular shaped or trapezoid shaped as the older systems. It's like it's a more rounded look. It's sort of, yeah, it's kind of interesting. No thank you, she might be a little small for me. I'm sure you are. Yeah, pretty comedic NPC dialogue in this town. Yeah, I agree, access denied. It did look like, you know, a gaming PC. More than a console. Is there something in here? Just want to make sure. I thought there was more stuff in this town. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Just run around very quickly, just to make sure. If not, I can come back later. I'll probably have to anyway, to grab the mithril armor for Cecil. But for now, we have what we need. Okay, with that said, we will be off, and we'll return to the Magnes dungeon. I agree, it does feel too soon to be next gen. I said the same thing about the last generation too. I didn't feel as if we needed to go from PS3 to PS4 so quickly. Alright, we will head north. Hopefully we won't get any encounters, because, oh well, there's one. The encounters here are annoying. The needle hogs are one of the most annoying enemies in the game. Because whenever you hit them with a regular attack, they always counter with needle. Oh no. Preemptive attack, then a back attack. Let me just check something. Okay, let me change the mode back to active, because when I was doing the grinding, I changed it to wait, just to make things go by faster. That is true. Final Fantasy games usually come out at the start of a system, or at least they used to. So we have multiple chocobos here. White chocobos, I believe, heal your MP, but what we want is the black chocobo. Let's fly. Alright, now we have the black chocobo who can fly over the ocean, and he takes us up here to the Magnes Cave. Before we head in, we do need to re-equip because of the nature of this dungeon. So Cecil can't use his sword here. But what he can use, however... Oh, I guess he can't use it in this version. In other versions of the game, they let Cecil use the bow. Use a bow here. Okay, that's fine. But we do need to re-equip him no matter what. So let's give him the headband. The Kenpogi. And the ruby ring you can use here. It's not made of metal. I do believe we have to remove our shield. Oh no, he can use the great bow. There we go. Why didn't it... Oh, I had to remove the left hand first. Okay, I see. And I will give him some fire arrows. If you don't, give Cecil any... You know, if you don't have a bow, Cecil will be pretty much useless here. Alright, headband. Oh, okay, he's pretty good. Tella, I believe, is set for the occasion no matter what. No, I have to change out that silver ring. Yep, just did that, Weissman. Whoops. Let's de-equip the silver ring. And yes, you can use Yang's claws in this dungeon. They do not count as metal. Okay, and here we are. So the magnetic field begins, and if anyone is wearing metal gear, they will be paralyzed. Yep, Yang and Tella. I'm keeping Cecil in the first row despite him using a bow, just to make sure the damage is soaked up by my 3 other characters. Let's attack. And do I have white? There we go. I believe you can hold the... You can use hold on the ogres. Yes, they do. Okay. He'll stay in place for a while. Which is good, because I need to cure Tella. Access denied. I am using what is known as the Naming Way version. The Naming Way version was an attempt to take the Final Fantasy IV release on the SNES as Final Fantasy II, and to change the translation to one as close to the original as possible, while also taking the stats and of everything in the game and the difficulty and restoring it to the original as well. Yes, Charlie Fox, I remember Tornado for Dark Elf. I'm thinking about fighting, using a save state and fighting Dark Elf twice so that I can show both like a normal fight and a regular fight against him. Yeah, a lot of the enemies in this game do have specific weaknesses, especially from here on out. Hopefully I can remember most of them. Ooh, we are ambushed, and these are not easy enemies. I don't think you can hold 2 people at once. Come on, Tella. Let's have Yang focus. Study is like the Scholar from Final Fantasy III. It lets you see the enemy HP as well as weakness. Okay, we got 1. And let's try to mitigate as much damage as possible by holding the other. Subledger, I think Tornado only... Whoops, I hit brace by accident. I think that Tornado only works on the Dark Dragon. It might work on one of the other dragons. I think one of the late game dragons in the final dungeon is affected by it, but I'll have to double check that. But I know it's like one of the few kill switches in this game. Final Fantasy V has a lot of special weaknesses and kill switches. Not easy to figure out if you're playing on your own, but they're like really cool for people who have like discovered them. Especially years and years since the game came out. Yes, I did get the twin harp or the weed thing necessary for this dungeon, Charlie Fox. Christian asks, my favorite Final Fantasy? Probably 9. 9 is the one that I can most confidently state. I think these 2 are weak to ice. This is the first appearance by Cait Sith. Obviously looks nothing like the Final Fantasy VII Cait Sith. Yeah, Vopopo, the Sid's grin's pretty great. You can even see it in the picture here. It's pretty funny. We're going to heal with Cecil, as usual. Because we do not want to waste Tella's MP. It'll be very useful. Even though this dungeon, you know, it's not the longest. But because of the limitations, it does have its, yeah, it does have its issues. You know, I like status stuff, but I can understand why sometimes, you know, people don't want to experiment with it. You know, you don't want to lose a turn. So yeah, that's that. Like, so it is kind of understandable. I think games should work harder on making status afflictions basically more welcoming for the person to use. Like, I like Shining in the Darkness, where all of the status elements affect all the enemies. So like if you try to use Sleep, it automatically targets every enemy in a group. Yeah, if you don't have the Twin Harp, the boss will do 9,999 damage to you. Here really quickly. Okay, we seem to be on good level, which is good. Because there are some tricky bosses coming up. Yeah, they kind of do Cait Sith a little differently in every game. Yeah, I do like Shining in the Darkness. I haven't played its successor, Holy Ark. I would like to give that a try one day. Oh, well, I do hope you enjoy 9 Vopop. It's a very interesting game. I like how every character sort of has their own battle mechanic. And they all kind of like homage older games. To me, that was one of the things that made 9 really interesting. Let's make sure nothing over here. Oh, there's a door. We have some cave bats. I believe they're most susceptible to bio, but I don't think I'm going to waste my MP on them. They're not that difficult. If they show up in a huge group, which sometimes they do, then I will use bio. Yeah, another game that like really promotes you using status effects is Etrian Odyssey. Status elements, because you really need them in that game, otherwise like bosses will like annihilate you. Like you need to make sure like you lock up their head or lock up their hands to make sure that you don't soak up too much, you know, you're not getting hit by their big attacks. Here we have an Ether. Ooh, these guys are all weak to Ice and Holy, I believe. Ooh, back attacks are really something on 1-speed active. Alright, they're not that tough. I'm not sure, because there are 2 poison spells in this game. Poison and Bio. And so I don't know if Venom in the US version, I don't know which one of those it was. Yeah, in Dragon Quest, you know, it's I think some of the status elements do affect groups, so it's easier to use there. Or easier to get into. Ooh, and Cecil's almost out of MP, but that is okay. I did stock up on some high potions. Probably more reliable than healing at this point through magic. Let's check up here. Oh, and there is one more chest. And that's a good 2,000 gil. Yes, absolutely. I will be covering Fire Emblem after Gaiden. I love the Fire Emblem series. Don't think I never stream them, because I kind of get lazy and someone ends up dying, and like that happening on camera, and me having to reset. Yeah, that would be, yeah. I don't know if I do that for stream, but I'm definitely going to cover them as part of the history series. Oh, yeah, Kate says if you leave them alone for too long, they will use Blaster, which is an instant death move. That's why, like, in groups, you do want to try to get rid of them as fast as possible. Ooh, my resources. My voice is weird again. Oh, I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Give me 1 second, guys. Testing. Okay, it should be good now. We'll avoid those Lunarians one day, taking over my microphone. Alright, and here we go. Alright, easy set of enemies again. Grandia I still need to play. There's like a gap in PS1 and PS2 RPGs that I do want to start filling later this year. I'm looking forward to playing Kingsfield. Kingsfield was the first new RPG released for the PlayStation 1. It was developed by From Software. It actually is the precursor to the Soulsborne games. Like, a lot of the ideas you see in Dark Souls actually started in Kingsfield. Alright. And we have our save point. Okay, which means we are close to the boss. Yeah, that wasn't too painful of a dungeon. I imagine they did lower the difficulty of certain enemies a bit, because they knew you had no metal items. And Cecil does a fist pump, and let's save. Okay, and we'll do a state just so that the Retron does not betray us. Head on down here. So wait, really? In North America, we only got Kingsfield 2 first? That's interesting, I didn't know that. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. No, I have not tried Eternal Ring for the PS2. As for Fire Emblem, you know, I'm generally always in the mood for a strategy game. But Fire Emblem specifically, you have to be, like, ready for that permadeath. I do like that it keeps you on your toes, but it, yeah, it keeps you on your toes, but, like, you know, I guess the permadeath really is like, alright, I gotta prepare myself to be really focused, because if I lose someone, I don't get another chance. Right now I'm playing Langrisser 1, the Genesis version, which was released here as Warsong, and that has permadeath, but it's a difficult game, but not difficult in that, like, your characters are in danger of dying. It's more difficult in that, you know, it's really harder to kill all the enemies because they can be so overwhelming. Do I have a favorite Final Fantasy monster? You know, I never thought about that. I guess Cactuars would be, like, a popular answer. I'd have to think about it. I know which one I hate the most. I dislike the Gigas from Final Fantasy II the most. That would be the one that I think I, like, despise with all my heart. Because in the NES version, they can be quite difficult to deal with. I have yet to play Xenogears. That's definitely on the list as well. Ooh, Tella died. Let's, fix that. Yeah, Marlboro's another good choice. Annoying to fight, but, you know, really great in terms of design. It's a very inspired design. It's, like, strange and frightening at the same time. Oh, definitely need to heal after this. Yeah, behemoths are great, but man, are they, like, annoying to fight. Like the last section of this game, it's like endless behemoths. Though I do remember there being, like, ways around dealing with them. Right, and I think we head here. And it's boss time. As soon as we reach the end of the room. Let's kill, yeah, let's... Hoping to avoid another encounter like this, but that's fine. White. Let's hold the second one. Favorite Dragon Quest monster? I do like a lot of the slime variations from the Dragon Quest Monsters games. There's a slime, I can't remember its name, but it's a cyborg slime. It's like a Terminator slime. It's really interesting. That might be my favorite one. Because I played Dragon Quest Monsters for the first time last year, and when I saw that, I kind of fell in love with it. It's very interesting. I think I'll only save state for the final elf attempt. I think that should be fine enough. Yeah, blue beaks are great because they look so comical. Like, I enjoyed using them in, like, the Final Fantasy II video. Because, like, I can't quite put into words what it is I really like about them, but they just look so silly. Alright, high potion. And, okay, we do have the Whisper Reed, okay. Just making sure. Oh, another room. I thought that was the boss. Okay. Fairy Claws. Very good for Yang. We'll replace the Ice Claw with that. No, that's the Thunder Claw. And yes, and my inventory is almost full. I think the reason why they didn't localize those games is because previously they were not doing as well. But I think the fortune for Dragon Quest has really turned around. So I do think they are going to localize the next Monsters game, which they are working on right now. The next one is supposed to use Eric and Mia from Dragon Quest XI as the main characters, so I am looking forward to that. I do hope it gets a localization. Let's bio these guys. That should do it. Yeah, I plan on eventually doing a video on Saga and using the blue beaks in it again, because Kawazu's just quite a character. A preemptive strike. Alright, we'll just attack these guys. We should be safe. Just checking the chat. Yeah, it is sad they stopped putting out Dragon Quest games after 4, but if you think about it, it still would have been a wait, because even 6, like, even though more people played Final Fantasy VI compared to other RPGs, it was still, like, incredibly niche. And other RPGs didn't do as well either. Like, I wish more people played Lufia 2 back in the day, because I really do love Lufia 2. but I feel like it's only getting its due now, as opposed to when it came out. Another preemptive strike. Fortunate us. Yeah, whenever I do a negative Kawazu game, the blue beaks will show up. I'd like a Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 remake as well. I do wonder how they do it. After Live Alive, I became convinced you could do one-on-one combat in an interesting way, but I do wonder how Yuji Horii would handle it. Alright. I think I am here now. I don't think I should heal, since the whole thing is that the elf will mess you up immediately. Here is the Dark Elf. You will... Okay, I can't do that. I was trying to emphasize the words. He was emphasizing. Okay, here we go. This is an auto-lose fight. So we'll just, like, match attack for now. I still need to play Lufia the Legend Returns. Oh, okay, so Dark Elf has a pattern. We're not going to see it really in this fight, but we're going to see it in the main fight. He basically uses Thundra, Thyra, Blizzara, then he uses Tornado, then he tries to turn someone into a pig, and then he repeats that pattern over and over again. And here we have Edward's big moment, and I don't think Edward really gets enough credit for this. Like, here's a guy almost dead, he crawls out of bed, falls to the ground, probably bleeding, and he's like, "Nah, man, I gotta help my friends." So, you know, hats off to Edward, where he gets a really powerful final moment. And we'll let him play his song. And the Dark Elf, his magnetic field is disabled. So we are given an opportunity to re-equip everyone. We will take a moment to that. Wow, did Cecil have one fire arrow left? Well, you have to remove both. And I will give him the Mithril Sword. A Mithril Helmet. Give him the Knight's Armor. And the Ruby Ring, I think, prevents certain afflictions, I think including Pig. So we'll keep that on him. I just want to change his shield. And Cecil will be good. Oh, no, we'll do him last. I think Yang is okay. Yeah, Yang should be fine. In fact, he hits his weaknesses. We'll give him back his silver. Sid will give some mithril stuff to. If I can find it. There we go. And Pogi should be good. Alright. And I'm going to create a safe state because I'm going to fight him twice because the Dark Elf has some interesting weaknesses. Let's begin. Or let's focus. Or use this fire first. Then Thundra. Then Blizzara. But it does nowhere near as much as before, thankfully. Back. Let's... Okay, Cecil, and there's a tornado. And then he's gonna pick someone next. Focus. Oh shoot, my mic again. I apologize, everyone. Was really hoping this wouldn't happen. Give me a moment. Okay, I should be good now. Alright, let's get my bearings back. Attack. Let's also haste Yang, just to get him going. Dark Elf uses his combo again. It's weird how the animations don't hit everyone when he does that. And Yang hits for high damage because both of his claws hits the Dark Elf's weaknesses. And now the Dark Elf is going to transform. Focus. And he hits much harder now. We are going to slow him. Because we do not want him getting in all the attacks that he wants to get. Nice critical. And Dragon Breath. That's the one that's gonna hurt. Yeah, let's Cura himself. I should have done Tella. And let's slow him one more time. I do like how you, keep all your skills in 6. I don't think it's too broken, at least in my opinion. Especially since 6 is a hard game. It is one of the hardest Dragon Quests. Like that final boss, I remember being brutal. Ooh, another Dragon Breath, that's gonna hurt. Alright, gonna have to have everyone heal. Except Yang, we'll keep Yang going. Good, he attacked, that's fine. Tella is out of magic. Okay, we'll have him healed with items then. Oh, I'm hoping that doesn't kill Yang. Oh, it does. Oh, the tornado, I save stated, so I'm going to try the tornado. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Oh, jeez. Oh. Alright, that did not go as planned. At all. Alright, I think I'm just gonna use a tornado on him because that annoyed me. Did not expect to get wiped by that Dark Dragon. That's our first wipe. Which DQ monster would I like to be friends with? It's an interesting question. I'd have to think about that one. Okay, so Tornado works on the next form. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is really Final Fantasy IV, one of its most difficult parts. Especially if you're playing on, like, if you're playing on one speed active like I am. High potion just to make sure that there is survival here. Oh, and well, Tella is a piggy now. Nintendo Power versions of Palom and Porum. I'll be sure to look that up. Yeah, Nintendo Power had some interesting illustrations. Some good, some bad. Right. Hopefully we can get to his next form quickly. Pigged again! My gosh. I hope I have the... I don't have any more remedies. Maiden's Kiss is for pigs. No, it's for frogs. I don't know if that heals pig. Oof. I think he can use Asuna on himself. No, he can't even... Yeah, okay. He can pig himself to unpig. Okay, that's a relief. Oh yeah, the Cruel Cumber monsters. That's a good choice. I like them as well. Wait, did he not unpig himself? Oh man, this is... It's getting a bit tight. Okay, hopefully this will work. Oh man. I am not having good fortune in this fight at all. He just spammed Dragon Breath over and over again. I apologize, everyone. I did not expect this to happen. Okay, let me focus, guys. Let me see if I can do this. But I am looking forward to Bravely Default 2. I did enjoy the first two a lot. You know what it is? I forgot to slow him this time. That's what happened. Okay. You know what? Just to make things go faster, I'll have Sid use a Silk Web. Okay, we should get past this first part with one slow. And then, yes. The combo. Yeah, FF4 has it's got a few bosses that, can really kick your butt the first time, you know, at certain points. The Mega Sisters are probably the most infamous one. Though there is a trick to them. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take revenge on this guy right now. Because he really annoyed me. Come on, Della, I'm waiting for you. Tornado. There, die. Go away. So that is the kill switch for this boss. I did show most of the legitimate fight, but I don't want to waste too much time. And so, yeah, basically that's one strategy you can use. And we get the crystal. Let's exit this place. Ella, if you don't mind. Yes, Subledger, there's a chest with dragons in the within the final dungeon. The final dungeon's got some good bosses. I wouldn't say they're too hard, they're super hard, but they do provide a challenge. Alright, and let's head back. The game, it eases up a tad bit after this. No, I do not want to fight Needlehogs. Yeah, final dungeon in the DS version is quite brutal. Gonna heal up at the inn. And I'm going to unload our inventory a bit because the next dungeon has some nice stuff. Well, it's not a speed run, Mr. Dapper Gent, but the run so far is going well outside of dying to that dark dragon more than once. Yeah, it's definitely one of the harder bosses in the game. Like, if this was like regular FF4 speed, like I've done the Naming Way version with no grinding at all. But with all the modifiers on, it's quite a difference. We'll sell the fire arrow. We won't... Will we need the great bow? I'll hold on to it. Headband. No, I'll sell the mithril knife. Light helmet we don't need anymore. That can also go. Yeah, regular potions aren't necessary. Will I need the mithril stuff? Get rid of that. I don't think I need the plumed stuff anymore. Yes, Charlie Fox, Tornado worked. We took our revenge because he was very much annoying me. Okay, let's see. What's best for Cecil at this point? Give him the mithril gloves. I think Sid can use the mithril gloves as well, which is why I bought them. Good. And, just so that he's not status afflicted again, we'll give him a ruby ring. Hey Geekdom 101, welcome! Thank you for joining us today. Pleasure to have you all, by the way. Thank you for watching this. Especially after the whole PlayStation presentation. But yeah, they should have more plushies of the harsher monsters. I do understand why they don't, though. It's usually just the cute ones that, you know, that really tend to get plushies. Let's switch Sid over to the Mithril Hammer. Well-needed upgrade. We're finally rid of all of our wood and cloth stuff. And can get back to normal. Oh, there's Sid's wooden hammer. Okay. We are good. Let's head into... Before we get to the castle, I think I want to get Cecil that mithril sword. Oh no. What is this lady doing? Okay, good. The programming in this game isn't that awful. Alright. Enter and we'll be off. My voice again. Oh, this is being very frustrating. Sorry, guys. Okay, my voice is back. Yeah, apologies for that. I just may have to buy a new microphone. Which sucks, because, you know, I was just recording with this one, and, you know, it was doing fine, so it's very frustrating. Just want to check around the back here. Okay, and let's get that sword for Cecil, because it will help in the next dungeon. One mithril sword. There we go. No, wait. I had the mithril sword. I meant the armor. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, that cuts into our finances. But thankfully around this time, the money starts to really flow. So, yeah. So money starts being it's less of a deal. So it's okay. We can afford to make some mistakes. The economy is really strong during the first half, but as you go on, it becomes quite plentiful. And where is that armor? Okay, take that off our hands, please, and here we go. Yeah, Geekdom, I would have to set up stuff for live streaming. Like, I have Streamlabs OBS, but I don't have it set up for live streaming, but I can see what I can do. I think my email is within the About page. If not, I'll make sure to put it up tomorrow morning. Okay, and you know what? There's one last thing I want to do. I want to get some high potions, and you can only get them here. Yeah, sure, Geekdom. Just email me and let me know the details, and we'll see. No, this is not the place with... You know, one of the things that annoys me in this game is very few towns in the upper world sell high potions. Like, that really surprised me, considering that, you know, you do kind of need them by this point in the game. Mysidia is one of the few places that has them. That is true. That is true, Alfarius. Why do they sell stuff in your size? Maybe they have human visitors very often. I mean, I figure, you know, even frogs and dwarves need international trade. Let's go for... No, wait. Let's, 15 high potions should be good. And we can grab a few Phoenix Downs. Okay, we are good. Let's be off. Yeah, being the only gigantic person in that town could be a little scary. A giant among men, indeed. Right, let's head this way. And all the way back to Troya. So that one place you can land. There we go. Did I use the inn earlier? I did. Okay. We are good. I'd like to enter your castle, please. Alright, and well, we must go and speak to the leaders once more. I have returned with your crystal. Yes, congratulate me. And Kane will take us to the next dungeon. And they all pretty much, react. Oh yes, the treasure in the basement. We can't forget about that. There is quite a bit of useful stuff there. Yeah, but I can't promise when you're getting the crystal back. Oh, don't worry, just some guy talking in the air. Don't worry about it. And I believe the basement is this way. I wonder if anyone has ever done a full size drawing of Cecil with these colors. I think I'd like to see that, rather than, you know, just the Amano design, which looks very different. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. We will go into this black space and head down. Yeah, Square went on. A lot of races and things like imps, dwarves, frogs tended to disappear. That is unfortunate. Oh, we get another great bow. Fire arrows, more fire arrows, thunder arrows, ice arrows. Some of these will be useful later. Silver apple, which we will save for a certain someone. Silver apples increase your base HP. Yeah, at the PS5 event today, don't know how many of you saw it. Few games interested me, but like nothing that made me say, you know, I need this system in my life right now. And they didn't say anything about backwards compatibility, which is what I'm really interested in. Like the new Ratchet & Clank game, that did look good. And that game, Kena, I think it was kind of Zelda-like. That looked pretty good. Alright, let's... save, and we will head into our airship, where Kane will meet us. Funny you said that, he and Hauser. I just mentioned those two games. I know a lot of people are excited about the remake for Demon's Souls. Maybe I'll pick that up. So a big question about the game is where in the world does Kane take us? Because the next dungeon is the Tower of Zot. But the Tower of Zot is not actually located anywhere in the overworld. It wasn't until the PSP version that it showed us rising into the sky. So perhaps this dungeon is actually an island in the sky. Okay, just checking something. Golbez wants to thank us personally. How kind of him. Yep, you came to make an exchange and you're making me go up all these stairs to get to it. Thanks, Golbez. And here we have, yeah, gremlins and centaurs. Not difficult enemies. I believe weak to holy and fire the gremlins are. Nothing to worry about so far. Let's have our physical attackers handle the centaur. And that deals with him. Saturday is the PC Games Expo. Okay, you know, I've been very tempted to just go with a crowd that's just PC only and get a Switch for Nintendo games. The only thing with that is that I do like to play certain JRPGs upon release, and PCs, you know, they're not day one yet, and that's really the only thing that's holding me back. Because if it wasn't for that, I would just say, you know what, do I need a console? Because, you know, so much comes out for PC these days. Okay, these guys are all weak to fire. The fell turtles and the ice lizards. Yang has the fire claws, and that does give him a good advantage over them. A lot of things in this dungeon are weak to fire, actually. The PSP version, as I mentioned in one of the earlier streams, it does have the ATB glitch, and any version with the ATB glitch annoys me. That's why I always opt to play the Naming Way version. I'm also not a big fan of the art style, but I do understand that's subjective. Some people do really like it, which is fine. It's just a little odd to me. Does he have the Fire Claw on? Because it seems like he should be doing a little more damage to them. Unless the Fell Turtle has a different weakness. And I'm thinking of something else. Oh, maybe, yeah, I guess it's weak to ice. Okay. The ATB glitch is in the GBA and PSP versions of Final Fantasy IV. And what it does is that it miscalculates the speed values and makes the enemies absurdly slow. So let me sort out my list, but it makes it so that for the first half of the game, you will get like 10 turns and the enemy none, and it makes the game way too easy. Yeah, the complete edition does include the interlude, and it includes the and the after years. So yeah, so that is a reason to get it. One moment, guys. Just checking something. Alright. We're good. But yeah, this dungeon's aesthetic always impressed me as a kid. Very different from what you expect. Alright, let's have everyone attack the Ice Lizard except for Tella. Because the Bavarois? The Bavarois do have a specific weakness. I believe they all can be toaded? Ooh, Yang taking some hits there. The Bavarois are immune to physical attacks, as you imagine. Toad. There we go. Yeah, fourth games in both DQ and Final Fantasy have really good casts. I'm not sure... Would I say they were my favorite in each? For Final Fantasy, I think I like 9 a little more. But you know, 4's got a good one. Well, I saw Trails 4 mentioned. Still have to catch up on the Trails series. I've got Trails in the Sky 2nd chapter on my PC. Need to get around to completing it. I've got this huge backlog, and it doesn't help that, you know, with the whole, what are we gonna call it? The disease. I like to call it fictional names, because if you try to name it by its name on YouTube, yeah, oh, there's a chest. Your live stream will get ghosted, and I do not want that to happen. So I'm referring to it as the Bloody Flux. But while the Bloody Flux has been going on, a lot of good stuff has been on eBay. Thankfully, and so a lot of games that I've always wanted to get, I'm picking up now before they go out of print. But like I just picked up Steins Gate Elite. I'm a big fan of Steins Gate. I've got the original visual novel. I've watched the anime like 20 times, so it's nice to have yet another version of it. Once again, okay, sorry guys. I will try to see if I can look up a solution online. And here we have some monsters. And here we have the Flame Dog, who is going to erupt. Let's switch to the Ice Claw. Oh, poor Tella. And Yang finished him off in one hit. Thank you, Yang. I'll look up that Yeti Nano. 100 bucks doesn't sound too bad. But yeah, I would say that, you know, Cecil is definitely one of my favorite RPG protagonists. He really affected me as a kid, and even now, you know, I appreciate his entire journey. And what I like is that his journey isn't simple. Like, once he becomes a paladin, you know, his character arc is not over. He still has to, you know, kind of work as a paladin. He almost doesn't... He almost falls into wanting revenge over Golbez as well. And then, you know, when he finds out who Golbez is, you know, that has quite the effect on him. Third floor. Alright, once again, we'll attack the guy in the back. Give me one moment, guys. Switch over to Tella's turn. And yes, toad them all, please. Turn them to frogs, Tella. Do your job. Come on, Tella. You made Yang waste his turn. There we go. I believe Solo is the main character of Dragon Quest IV. Like, they all have these names that are given after the fact. Like, I think the Dragon Quest V protagonist has like 3 different names. Because I think like the novel and like the official works all gave him something different. Like, I'm used to calling him Madison. But I think the name that was used in the movie is now more well known. Ooh, back attack. I'm just gonna run. Is it an unofficial name? Because I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Sakurai for Smash Brothers used those names as well. So I assumed that they were official. Let's just thunder this guy. Okay, pretty good. I see what you mean, Geekdom. And we get a 10th. Thank you very much. Head around this way. But yeah, this aesthetic really interesting. Though it is used 3 times in the game, which is a bit much. Because you do this tower, then you have to do the Tower of Babel, different floors in it, on 2 different occasions. What I did like about the DS version is that the DS version gave the Tower of Zot its own aesthetic. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. Allowed for some visual differentiation. Let's heal. Head down here. Black Knights and Soldresses. I think that they're weak to bio, but it's not really necessary to waste Tella's MP. These specific enemies aren't so tough that it's necessary. You know what it is? It's because we're so used to, like, the mages in RPGs being female, especially the healers, that I think it's almost habitual at this point. Where it's like, yeah, you know, female mage user. Though I was, like, surprised when I played DQ4 for the first time. I was expecting Elena to be a mage, and when it turned out that she was a martial artist, it, like, weirded me out for a moment. But it did end up working in the end. Yep, enemies doing some damage here. Can't wait till we get Rosa back, because Rosa's the key to this game. Rosa is very good. Excellent healer, can slow and haste, gigantic MP pool. Yeah, Rosa is the MVP of Final Fantasy IV. Okay, ice enemies. Let's have our physical attackers. Left, yeah, Yang will handle him, that's one hit. And we'll have the physical attackers deal with the back row. Stop making chicks random encounters. Yeah, you know, the Tornico section, I had already heard about it, so I knew what to do. But, you know, I have always wondered, you know, I wonder what would happen if no one knew that, you know, you were supposed to take the initiative here. If you guys like roguelikes, especially like ones that are like exactly like the original Rogue, the Tornico games there's one for the Super Nintendo, one for PS1, and one for PS2. They're pretty good. I like them because I like the original Rogue a lot. And like the first one is basically like a Rogue skin with Dragon Quest stuff. And yeah, very enjoyable. Probably should have bought more high potions. Oh, you got it for the Tornico game for $10? That is quite fortunate. I'd love to have a physical copy of it. Alright, more of these Valkyries. Yeah, Elena with the Falcon stuff is pretty great. What's going on in the chat? So what are you guys playing right now? Playing anything different from last time? Like I said, I'm still playing Langrisser. Really great strategy RPG. If you're ever in the mood for one, I do recommend it. Came out for the Genesis, one of its first RPGs actually. And still playing, what was it? What was I playing? Front Mission Gun Hazard. Really good side-scrolling RPG. After I clear those up, I'm going to try to get, what's it called? Oh, Hellclaw, very good weapon for Yang. I'm going to get Final Fantasy Mystic Quest off of my list. I haven't played it since I was a kid. You want to keep the Fire Claw and Fairy Claw now, I think? Trying to remember the weaknesses. You do want to keep the Fire Claw. Alright, Fairy and Hellclaw do the same damage. Hellclaw speeds you up more, so we will put that on. And I don't think there's anything down here, really? Let's check. Alright, basic set of enemies. We've pretty much seen most of what the enemies have to offer, aside from a few cheeky ones here and there. Yeah, Final Fantasy IV is a very short game. Like, I remember it in my mind being much longer than it really is, because I think that right now we are at the halfway point, which is pretty crazy because this is the third stream, and we're already halfway into the game. Like, especially if, like, you talk to no NPCs, and you're not playing at, like, the highest speed. Yeah, yeah, it goes by very quickly. Fireclaw, let's switch to the Thunderclaw. I have reasons for this. Assuming this is the right chest. Oh no, it's not the right chest. Okay. Switch Yang back for now, because I'm expecting a certain box with a certain enemy. We'll give Cecil the Fire Shield, because it prevents fire attacks from hurting him. Your teacher played Dragon Quest VIII, that's interesting. Yes, that witch will slow us. Yeah, I think I would agree that Final Fantasy II is the weakest Final Fantasy. If just because I can't name one that's weaker. I do have some controversial opinions on later Final Fantasy, though. I'll keep those to myself for now. There are some ones that like are well-liked that I don't like personally. Oh yeah, Dragon Quest II, 4 green dragons. Yeah, what the good thing that came out of Dragon Quest II is that Horace promised everyone that he would make sure every game was playtested beginning to end after that. Because they didn't get to playtest, they did not get to playtest the game after a certain point. Let's Echo Herb, Sid, even though he doesn't use magic and it doesn't matter. Right, let's check the next door. Oh, pretty basic enemies again. Yeah, the 13 has its proponents and detractors. I'm not a fan myself, to be honest. Like, yeah, the remakes of Final Fantasy II and Dragon Quest II are obviously much better. The teams had much more experience when they made them. But it's really those NES versions that can get, you know, that can be a bit frustrating. Yes, I have heard of the Roland's Curse games, and I am interested in them. I know that the, like the first one is very different from the second one. But yes, I will check them out one day. Let's heal a bit. Oof. Out of high potions. Should have bought more. We do have 2 regular potions, we'll put them to use. Final Fantasy III Remake is also harder than the original, though I don't think they did a good job at it. Because they basically just made it, hey, you know, a boss can basically hit you really hard and knock you out, and now you need to grind. Okay, we just got the Gaia Hammer for Sid. Now the Gaia Hammer is really cool. Along with being stronger, if you use it as an item, it can cast Quake on all enemies. Yeah, the bonus scenario in Final Fantasy II for Dawn of Souls. Yeah, it's a pretty cool one. But was there anything from a voice again? Okay, apologies. Alright, I am back. And the DS version of FF3 is, it's very different in general. Like, the way the job system works, it seems the same. But, you know, it's got its differences, like, because every job is kind of useful, beginning to end. Oh, which is, you know, good in its own way, but it sort of loses that... It sort of loses that, you know, that feeling of, yeah, I upgraded to better jobs, to jobs that are much better than the last set. Just want to make sure that I'm not missing out on any items, guys. So give me one moment. Just double checking to make sure. I think, did I miss something? Or am I good? Let me check the top of this room first. Ooh, we have these guys. You want to make sure you take out the Marion first? And I do think these guys can be... Is it pegged or toted? We'll try. You know, I always wondered who the soul dresses were, and these black knights in this dungeon. Like, are they human? Are they human workers for Golbez? Are they in his employ? You know, these questions, they come up. Even as a kid, I was like, what are they all about? Let me just run to make this a little faster. Just a chest. Let me equip Yang, in case this is the right chest I was thinking of. Nope, it's not. I must be thinking... Maybe I'm thinking of the Tower of Babel. It might be. Sage Robe we will temporarily give to Tella. Should help his defense a bit. Yeah, the DS version of FF3, it's nice for its extra abilities. A little more fleshed out in that regard. Yeah, I do like, you know, the more fantastical elements of JRPGs, like how crazy they are. But, you know, sometimes explanations go a long way. I did not know that the Marion had a specific drop like that. Rare drops, interesting idea, but get on my nerves sometimes. And some of them sound like nightmares, like... I don't think I will ever get, like, the rare drops in Earthbound. That seems like a bit much for me. I think it's like a 1% chance to get them in the final dungeon. You know what, let me run. I'm running low on HP. Don't really have much in the way of healing, and I'm not sure I want to use the ether. Come on, guys, I believe in you. Alright, there we go. Because I think that around the corner here is the save point. Indeed it is. Right, fortunate us, because we have quite the boss coming up. Where are my tents? What am I doing? Who am I? Where am I? Subledger, which game was the pink tail in? Is that this game, or is it something else? Let's save. Do one for the Retron. Okay, items. Let's move the Silk Web up one. Let's move the Silk Web to the top. Alright, here we go. Okay, time for the Mega Sisters. Let's take a sip of water first. And here we go. Thank you for the welcome. Oh, thank you. Pleasure to meet you. And they have their Delta attack. Okay, here we go. We do want to Silk Web them all. Ooh, she reflected already. That's not going to be good. Alright, what you want to do is you want to aim for the middle one, because the middle one can revive them. And that's what they'll do. They'll reflect off of you. The other two are slowed, and we're going to have to haste Sid back up. Yeah, as long as you know what you're doing in this fight, it's not terrible. She'll reflect or reflect, so at least Sid is safe now. But this fight on your first try can be, yeah, it can be quite annoying. We're gonna have Tella haste Cecil. Keep him going fast. Haste is really great in this game. Let's... Got some Hermes shoes. Delta attack, and yeah. They basically cycle through the magical type attacks. He hasted himself, that's good. Yeah, Hermes shoes allows you to speed up. And let's continue using haste. Because the faster Yang is, the faster Yang gets stuff done. Like, I think as a kid, you know, a lot of people were like, ugh, this boss like was really like one of their first big challenges. And with the 1 speed, you know, these magic attacks are coming in a lot faster. Ooh, Sid there. Let's cure him. Hopefully that will get to him in time. Ooh, out of hastes. Alright, we'll have him heal. Or raise, we can do that as well. Well, John Schwartz, this is based on the original Famicom build, so it certainly is harder than most, whoops, wrong one. Than most versions of Final Fantasy IV. Because, you know, the US SNES one was really, like, it was downgraded. And then the GBA and PSP have the ATB glitch. So yeah, this is comparatively a much harder version. And I do also have the speed set to the highest, so that affects the experience as well. Yes, I do remember when you could only rename the characters a certain amount. That was due to, you know, Japanese characters covering much more than, you know, than American words. And so it wasn't a problem to them. And it also had to do with the limits of the SNES. Alright, we got rid of the middle one. That should make things much easier, because they now have no one to reflect off of. Let's cure Sid. Everything should be smooth sailing at this point. It really helps to slow the other two at the start of the fight, and haste up, you know, Cecil and Yang. If you do that, you know, things go by much better. Because if you're playing one of the harder versions of this game, and you don't know just how good slow and haste are, yeah, it can be a bit of an issue. Cecil, get back here. Yes, that's nice. I know he has 591 HP. Hella, your turn, please. I don't think you can use that here, Cecil. Ultra Zappy, Bianca all day, every day. Absolutely Bianca. But I do like Deborah as well. Deborah, I did a Deborah run of FF5, and yeah, that was very enjoyable. I did like her party chats a lot. Subledger on haste and slow do not expire in this game. That's one of the many things that make them so broken. Alright. Very happy with how that fight went. Okay, we can take these enemies, that's fine. I'm feeling good about myself right now. But I do think Deborah was a very good addition to Dragon Quest V. Just having two choices feels weird. 3 feels well, like a more rounded number, in my opinion. Subledger, I've never had that experience with people having names with all swear words, but that does sound, yeah, sounds like quite an experience, I will say. Yep, haste and slow stack, and they never expire. Yeah, very broken. There is a certain boss later in this game that everyone has trouble with, but if you know exactly what you're doing, you basically like can slow the boss into submission. Three girlfriends, okay. I didn't even say that I liked Nera. I mean, she's cool, but, you know, not as cool as the other two. See, save, and then we will save for the Retron once more. And before we enter this door... Yang, Tella, I think I want that staff back. I think I want that wizard hat back. You know what? Just give me everything you have. No, it's not the demon wall. It's the CPU from inside the Giant of Babel. Everyone has trouble with that boss, but there are ways to really handle him nicely. I agree, Wiseman. You should never buy a new system until the second run comes, because the first run is usually the one with the most problems. For the next cutscene, guys, I am not going to talk. I am going to let it play as it is, or if I have to talk, I will do so. I will do so minimally. A pitiful revenge. I always find that to be an incredible scene. Like, Tella just throws everything he has at him, and then turns his life into Medio. I always imagine that to use it like he's literally destroying the roof, so that all the meteors come down and crash through. Come, Kane. Kane's kinda knocked out. You know, that Medio has to be something if it can break someone's mental hold over somebody. I think it's become tradition in the early Final Fantasy games that if someone like turns their own life force into power to fight, that they can't be revived, because something similar happens in Final Fantasy V. And Golbez seems to recognize Cecil. And let's check on Tella. And Tella realizes what he's done to himself. Very sad part of the game. One of the few to actually stay dead. Good night, Ultra Zappy. Have a good night. Just remember, this video will be unlisted, but it will be in the playlist. And Portella. And Cecil starts to get very angry again. These two look like treasure chests, don't they? Like, I'm staring at them and I'm like, I feel like I should be able to open these. Hey Kane, how you doing? Yeah, Final Fantasy VII's death was like, I feel like they didn't work enough to make it believable that you couldn't just give her a Phoenix down. And Kane's a bit remorseful. You know, with the CPU nodes, I don't remember if there was a hint, but I do know that most people don't seem to notice it either. Like, considering how many people have trouble with that fight. Okay, Kane brings us in. And if you notice, above her is a scythe. In the SNES localization, it was changed to a giant sphere. Ah, the love theme. Oh, well, the heart grows fonder. Sid. Yep. Yeah, censorship. You can show people beating up animals with like swords and spears and everything. Show them incinerated by Bahamut, but you know, that one scythe, it has to be a big metal sphere. Yep, come on, Kane. We need your jump ability. We can't beat the next boss without it. Jamie, yes, I am using what is known as the Naming Way Edition, which changes the SNES version to the build and stats of the original. Yeah, in Dragon Quest, changing, you know, coffins to ghosts. That was always a weird decision. Like the ghosts honestly creep me out more than the coffins did. Yeah, Kane, you're kind of useful gameplay-wise. Okay, we have control once more, and let's go to Rosa, who, as you can see, has nothing. That's okay, let's see what we have. Well, we happen to have stuff that, we happen to have stuff here. Who was wearing this before? Don't worry. Just don't pay attention to that old dead guy in the next room, okay? He was totally not wearing this stuff. Hey, Geekdom, it's only 2 times Kane turns on you, alright? You know, Kane may be, you know, an issue from time to time, but he's not that bad that it's 6 times. And Kane is pretty up to date, I think. Don't think I have anything else I can give him. Alright. And let's go for our next boss fight. Barbariccia, the Fiend of Wind. Like the other fiends, she is named after a character from Dante's Inferno. And Kane gets his big he gets one redemptive moment here. And that's a really awesome line. You're not the only one who can fight in the air, Barbariccia. And here we go. And we'll wait for her to change, and we will jump her. Let's cover. And Ray begins to stone you. The jump is necessary to undo Barbariccia's form. Let's start slowing her. Interesting fact, you can't start slowing her until after you've used jump at least once on her. Otherwise it won't work. Kind of irrelevant to the 1-speed game, since, you know, she pretty much does what she does right away. And Kane, yes, thank you, Kane. Oof, Cecil, stop dying, please. I'd like to slow her once more, just to stop her from being too annoying. But, you know, she's not exactly the most difficult fight. Yeah, you know, I agree, Geekdom. Why aren't there more Final Fantasies with 5 characters? I'd really like for them to bring that back. It's not as if it's difficult to manage or anything, you know. You know, it goes by pretty smoothly. Anything beyond that probably would get to be too much, though. Alright, let's, we slowed her enough. Okay. Just looking through her list. Looking for Kira. Okay, there. Not in the most convenient place. I'll have to switch that later. Well, you're not wrong, Charlie Fox. Let's focus. Yes, Kane, we've been doing that. It just wasn't your turn yet. Let's, Berserk Cecil. Get him out of the way. Kira on Yang. Thank you, Cecil. Oof, taking some damage. We'll probably have to have Rosa heal for sure. Oh no, she's dead. Okay. True Alfarius. Yeah, she's just spinning right round and round and round. Though in future versions it would show that it's her hair that's spinning around her. So definitely an interesting decision. And that's one more fiend down. The strongest of the four remains. Well, that's not very nice. But I think it's Rosa who gets us out of here. Okay, thank you, Rosa. Even though you don't have exit. At least I don't think you do. Maybe I'm wrong. Actually, yes, it's black mages who only have warp. White mages have exit. And here we are, back in Baron Castle. Indeed he is. I guess, you know, Sid is such an old man that he does need a seat. So yes, this is where we are told of the Dark Crystals. That's a good point, Subledger. If it was a floating island, where did it land? Shouldn't it have created a tsunami somewhere? Yay! Final Fantasy IV is, you know, a pretty well-written game, but it demands some questions here and there. Three was the first game to mention the Dark Crystals. Oh, but this was like the first one to like really make use of them. Though the use of the Dark Crystals I liked the most was in Final Fantasy V. That game's twist is probably my favorite in the entire franchise. Yes, and the way to the moon will be opened. Okay, interesting. And we got the magma key. Yes, and you're actually not told where to go next, which is interesting because the game usually tells you where to progress. But to be honest, there aren't that many places, there aren't that many places in the world that, you know, you haven't been to yet. So, you know, if you're playing for the first time, it isn't too difficult to discover. Voice again. And this is where Cecil begins to think that something may be up with Golbez. Yes, indeed, can't say it enough. The soundtrack is indeed fantastic. And we all had a slumber party in Cecil's room. Indeed, let's go. And if you talk to someone around here. Not many NPCs in this castle. Probably not surprising considering all that's occurred. Let's speed things up a bit. Golbez's soldiers weren't human. Yep, it's unfortunate. We actually can go see Odin now. But it would, like, nothing would really happen. He'd say, come back later when you're stronger. So we will do just that, but I will be getting Odin. Yes, indeed he was. That's unfortunate. There was one NPC that I'm trying to look for. Excuse me. If just because I like what he says. It's very simple. Wilgard here, thank you. Understandable, I suppose. Thank you, Dragoons. That's a good question, Drakenzan. Was Star Trek popular? There we go. Please, Cecil, take the throne. So yeah, this NPC is pretty much the only build-up that, you know, says that Cecil will become king by the end. But I do like it. I always like to talk to that one guy. But I do think Star Trek's always been popular in Japan. It gets referenced quite a bit. Like, if you've played Star Ocean, that game definitely has its Star Trek references. The first one. The ship captain. He makes a ton of references to Star Trek. There we go. Not where we're supposed to go yet. Just want to go over here and get myself a mithril armor. Because I would like Sid to have something a little more durable. Toriyama was a Star Trek fan. Interesting. Let's go here. And we shall sell some stuff. Yet we'll no longer need that. No longer need that as well. Yeah, won't need that extra mithril shield. I know the fairy claws beats certain things. Not sure specifically which enemies. I'll hold on to it just in case. Alright. And let's buy that mithril armor. Ooh, expensive stuff. Because there is a boss coming up that is, yeah, that's a bit difficult. Yes, Subledger, it is infinitely 3 o'clock within this world. Alright, and we'll get some high potions too. You know, I'm trying to think back to the PlayStation 5 conference. You know, what was interesting that was shown there? And like literally only 2 games appear in my head. I guess that sci-fi game that takes place in outer space did look kind of interesting. The shooter with bullet hell mechanics. And there was one game that was basically a 3D hyperlight drifter. But yeah, that's about it. Let's exchange the Kenpogi with the high potions. Okay. And we are off. Charlie Fox, he means inside of Final Fantasy IV. All of the clocks say 3 o'clock. Right, I think we are good now. And we can go to, it's around here somewhere. Here we go, right here. This is our next destination. The city of Agart. Hello. Interesting saying. Well, I mean, a pretty common saying, but what do you guys mean by it? Something red went under the North Mountains. Okay, it's an interesting hint. So they use magma instead of the sun. Yeah, the Soulsborne remake looked good, though I was surprised there wasn't anything about their new game. Okay, don't need anything here. Hello. That's good. We don't need the inn. We're pretty good. Interesting, you know, not a lot of games have children NPCs. Dark. Yeah, I like how like there's a little lore hints of what's really under this place. It's pretty much like the only hints you get are that this is the place where you must use the magma key. Whoops, let me like just do that one more time. Okay, interesting. Yet another hint. Let's head on up. So, guys, I'm considering next month playing Chrono Trigger, but I'm undecided on exactly what team to use. And so I've never done a Chrono Marl Luca team before to the end game. But I'm actually wondering, your guys' opinions on what kind of team you would actually like for me, what kind of team you would actually like to see. And yes, Jamie, Elden Ring, that's the game. I was hoping we would get more information on it. Okay, down here is a dancer. Is it different from the dances of the other dancers? Well, the music is certainly different. I just got that subledger, Ancestor. That's yeah, that is an Ace Attorney level. That is an Ace Attorney level pun. It's the kind of thing you'd see in the Phoenix Wright universe. Yeah, the anti-potex are really cool. That's why I was considering it. And I do love Ice Sword too. The sound effects during it are pretty great. Like, all we heard about yeah, Jamie, all we heard about Elden Ring is that George R.R. Martin is helping writing it or something. And yeah, that's it. We've heard nothing since. Do Chrono, Marl, and Robo have triple techs? I don't remember if they do or not. Let's buy some holy arrows. Interesting that they sell the boomerang this early, considering that its user does not show up for a while. Yeah, Chrono Isle Robo is a really good team. They've got some sick techs together. Yeah, this is mostly old stuff. Nothing useful here. Talk to this guy. Well, I'm about to find out. This has nothing. Interesting. I wonder what's the point of programming a house like that. Okay, let's go up here before we progress. Interesting. I guess that would provide enough light, right? I think. Wouldn't be good for the skin. Yeah, the technology of Final Fantasy IV's world is very interesting. You know, they have this guy has a telescope here. And yeah, this is where you first hear that this world has 2 moons, not just one. Here we have one more scholar, Professor Koryo. And the other is turning blood red. That does not sound very good. Let's take a look. And I really like this. I like that they let you look up into the moons yourself. Or at least just one of them. Yeah, it's a nice bit of foreshadowing. Considering that, the game has some pretty good foreshadowing when it comes to the moon. There are scant hints here and there. But yeah, very, very nice. Well done. Marl has always been better for her double and triple techs, as opposed to what she can do by herself. Like, that's where her real use comes in. As like a solo character, she doesn't have much use. But alongside someone like Chrono, she definitely has a lot of uses. Plus, she does have haste. Subledger, I think they are inferring that the moon you go to is red. I just think they didn't animate it when you got there. Okay, and we have this well here. And let's drop the magma key. I love that sound effect, by the way, of it just dropping to the bottom of the world. Place turns red, and the way is open for us. And this is how we get into the inner world. So a big thing in early RPGs was to have multiple maps. Dragon Quest III kind of started it, because you go to the Dark World, and then Final Fantasy III starts you in a small world, and then you go to the big world, and then like Dragon Quest like 5 and 6, and 4 also had like smaller worlds for like the final area. And for Final Fantasy V, they decided on 2 extra maps. Let me save while I'm here. One for this world, one for the lower world. Okay, let's take our airship. Subledger, since I do use a lot of this footage for the history of RPGs, I would like to choose a team of 3. Because my thing is that I do want to play Chrono Trigger at least 3 times before I do the video on Chrono Trigger. And so I figure I may as well do one in a live stream. And I figure I would use a different team for each time I play the game. Alright, and let's head inside into the inner world. The game takes over here. Our current airship cannot fly over magma. And here we have a battle going on between the Red Wings and some tanks. Yeah, Medicare mentioned the world of balance and ruin, but I do like what Final Fantasy V did the best. That was my favorite, like, double world thing. How did we get caught in the middle of combat? Did Sid just, like, fly us in? And was he not looking at what was ahead of him? And there goes the Enterprise. Well, at least it crash landed us well enough. No one's dead. But then again, this is Final Fantasy IV. They probably wouldn't stay dead anyway. Okay, Enterprise is done, and let us disembark. And welcome to inside the planet. Don't know if they call it Earth here. We will save, and let's head inside, and lally ho, everyone. Lally ho. I guess lally ho is kind of like how the Smurfs call everything Smurf. But yeah, lally ho comes from Final Fantasy 1. The dwarves there said it. I don't know if it's derived from any other piece of pop culture, like if Sakaguchi got it from somewhere else. And Luca seems to be missing her doll. That I've surmised. Together now, lally ho. King Giat awaits. Hello, sir. What are you blocking? Okay, fair enough. But yeah, all the people in the towns we were just in, they all descended from dwarves, who basically came topside. But as we can see, dwarven civilization lives on. Second floor. Okay. Excuse me, I would like to buy something. Yes, just, remedies cost a lot. And, yeah, basic healing stuff here. There's 5,000 gil. And thou shalt not pass. I do... speaking of Chrono Trigger challenge runs, I do know someone who did, like, a low experience run. That has to... yeah, that was kind of interesting. Alright, here we are, the throne room. This is one of the best parts of the game. Very fascinating part. Very surreal. Very David Lynch-like. Here we meet King Giat, ruler of the underworld. You have the Dark Crystal, sir. You have been taken. So two remain. Thank you. Yep, pretty down for now. You have that much mithril that you can wrap it around the airship. We could use that for armor and weapons, Sid. And Sid decides to leave us. I forgot he left us. He left us. Can't remember if he returns later or not. Like, I know he returns in the airship, but I can't remember if he returns as a party member. Well, at least the crystal is safe. Someone is eavesdropping. And, yeah, we have a doll jumping around in the background. Yang's instincts are apparently never wrong. And, let's see what's in the crystal room, guys. Mario won without a single death subledger. That's pretty fascinating. I don't know if I'd ever be able to do that. I can barely beat Mario 1 with dying. Yip ho ho ho! And here we have the dolls that apparently have come to life. This is definitely the weirdest part of the game. We got this music, one of my favorite parts of the soundtrack, and these inanimate objects deciding that they're going to line up and fight us. We're Calbrina, you fools, you've doomed yourselves. We're gonna getcha. That doesn't sound comfortable, so let's fight. And here we go. Unfortunately, Sid left us, and so we have to take out these things on our own. We're gonna take out one from each row, because I do think that helps with the next section. Let's, do we want to berserk? No, not yet. What do I want her to do? She doesn't have haste yet. I thought she did already. Alright, we'll just aim for now. Okay, that's one down. Not too bad. Thank you, Kane. Yeah, it is very odd. I think Sakaguchi was just feeling weird that day. Tokita was feeling it as well. And they decided, you know what? You know, this seems like an interesting idea. Let's have some weird dolls doing some weird stuff. I guess every Final Fantasy game has to have that one weird thing in it. Just seeing what I'm gonna start berserking Yang. Just to raise his strength and keep him going. 2 girls from The Shining, maybe, maybe. I do want to keep Cecil's HP up. Because that will be very important going into the next section. Thank you, Yang. Let's jump. And they should be uniting into one very soon. Yep, there they go. Now they become Calbrina. Yep, and it's pretty strange. I'm really looking at the design for the first time now, and I'm like, yeah, this is a bit of a creepy design. It looks like a doll with like nothing on. Ooh, let's let me use a high potion actually for Cecil. Glance, not sure what that does. Okay, we're done. But now we get to the real fight. And I do think this was added to distract you. You know, make you think, you know, yeah, we're gonna get a bit of a rest after this, you know? Yet another boss fight. We're totally not going to run into one of the big bads already. Because they disappear. And here comes Golbez. This is such a memorable part of the game. He just shows up, there's no hint that he's gonna do it, and he decides it's time to challenge you. Let me tell you my master plan. He will activate the Tower of Babel, the gate to the moon. The moon possesses powers beyond human comprehension. I do like how Final Fantasy VIII homaged this in its own way. But I do like the idea that the moon hides its own secrets. It's a pretty cool lore idea. Yes, Ledger, I'm pretty sure that's possible to defeat them all at once. And here we go, it's Golbez. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump, Kane, jump. Yeah, that one speed. Wow, he's doing it already. Kane, jump! Kane, jump! It would make my life a lot easier if you did that. Oh, no. Too late. I shouldn't have counted. I'm used to doing that on lower speeds. It makes things the next part a little tougher. Mealtime, Shadow Dragon. And Golbez can summon. And Demolish does what it says. It demolishes my entire team. And here comes one of my favorite parts of the game. Yep, Rydia hype. Shadow was destroyed by mist? Cecil's healed. And here comes Rydia. Alright, let's start bringing people back to life. Ooh, Rydia. Don't do that, I just brought her back to life. Use the high potion on the wrong person. Oh, and oh no, Rydia's not dead, wow. Now she is. I'd appreciate it if you didn't attack so fast, Golbez. Trying to raise everyone from the dead here. Yeah, not gonna lie, Rydia was my childhood crush. This is like this moment was like, wow. Did not expect that, but that was very cool. Well, I imagine Rydia was probably told that Cecil had become a paladin by now. At least that's, that's how I interpret it. Since, the summons can pretty much see a lot. And they have pretty good knowledge of the overworld. Right? No, I'm trying to heal everyone, Golbez. Slow down. Actually, I should start slowing him. I should slow him a bit. So let's do that. Just to give us some space. Because I really don't want to start attacking in full until I know everyone's in a good place. Okay, let's jump. Yep, Golbez's equipment allows him to do that. And we won. I remember that being a lot harder. Like, Golbez lasted a lot longer. I guess it's Yang's equipment that got the job done. And we get this entire story with Rydia. Okay, that's very nice that Leviathan took you to the land of the Feymark. But did he need to sink our ship? That was really mean of him. Ships are not made easy, Time flows differently there, so I conveniently grew up. And I do like this completion of the arc between Cecil and Rydia. Very often blamed himself for everything that happened. And Rydia says that, stop blaming yourself. There are bigger problems at hand. Yeah, maybe Dark Elf could take Golbez. Dark Elf versus Golbez. And we have Rydia our summoner. Oh, we get another part of this section I really like. Oh, Golbez is gone, and all that's left is a hand. Can King take out his spear and spare this hand? Why are we just sitting here watching it? I think we should all, be trying to grab this thing before it takes the crystal. Voice? Okay, I got it, guys. Then we must... Alright, I am back. Right, we must protect the last crystal. One left. None can enter without the key. And we can retrieve them from the Tower of Babel. I mean, that's where Golbez is right now. Okay. Thank you very much. And we shall prepare. Okay. They did choose an interesting subject to use to infiltrate the castle. Then again, a doll is, you know, it's as good as any other thing. Huh. Get some interesting backstory here. Oh, which scene, Subledger? When Cecil took the crystal? Yes, we know, Laliho. Everyone has said it while we were here. I do like the idea of dwarves building tanks. It does make sense. They do build stuff. They do forge stuff. You know, they'd be the one to build that sort of thing. Let's head over here. And let's make use of this castle for all it's worth. Oh, excuse me. Hello? I'd like to talk with you. Oh. Dwarven armor is as hard as stone. Humans probably can't walk in it. Well, you know, I'd like to give it a shot. Ah, Gino, what an underused character, Medicare. Okay, we have the Dwarf Axe, Great Bow, Blind Arrows, and the Flame Spear. Can't remember which one is better for Kane. I'm tempted to say the Dwarf Axe, since it does cost more. It also is interesting that Cecil can use axes. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it here. A bit of a shorter stream today, but I do have a few things to do. Thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed already, please do so. Please like the stream if you haven't already. That really helps out. If you want to find ways to support me, you may do so on my Patreon. Thank you for watching, everyone, and God bless you all.